Disclaimer: this is a conversation between two Canadians about the sport of soccer. As such, we will be using the word soccer when referring to the sport. If this bothers you, please leave a comment describing your distaste as it helps with engagement. Thank you and enjoy the video.
New Caledonia. We'll go with Georges Gopefenepej. Very niche player, but they lost the OFC final in 2013, which is like the Oceania version of the Euros. And
Is it ever lost on you, like, how insane that it just seems?
I never really thought it was anything like I kind of thought I was just the most into it out of everyone I knew growing up. So I never really thought that I was like I thought I would just kind of be in place and like most places where football is life, like in the UK and Europe and smaller countries, South America and stuff. I thought it just like everyone's like that, but no, I guess people really think it's kind of exceptional, like on TikTok and comments and stuff, and with how much traction they gained early on, it's like, wow, this is pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I guess a lot of people don't know this kind of stuff.
How do you know everything that you do? Like, why do you know everything that you do?
I've just been super into like soccer my whole life. Like I was playing it since I was like 4 or 5 years old. Like my dad's always been into it. But when I was a like really little kid, like 5, 6 years old, is when I started learning like geography and learning all the flags. And then naturally, when I got really into soccer, when I was like 10 years old, like following soccer and watching soccer and playing FIFA and stuff, I became really interested in players from kind of obscure nations that were in good leagues. So that just kind of like drew me to it. Like you'd see players playing in FA Cup finals, like from Barbados and Honduras and stuff. And you'd be like, wow, that's really cool. So my interest in geography from when I was a kid and then my interest in soccer just collided with that. And like you'd get players in FIFA packs and you'd see like the flag of Comoros and you'd just think, wow, that's so cool that someone from a country like that makes it to a big league. And just over the years, you get really into it. And I just think I have a pretty naturally good memory. And I've pretty much every weekend for the last decade, I've like watched 2 or 3 soccer games minimum and Champions League and stuff during the week and World Cups. It's, the top priority in my life besides the like necessities and like, family and friends and such.
Antigua and Barbuda, I'll go with Callum Geraldo Martin as a forward. Used to play for Hull City. I believe he's in the non-league now. Played for them when they were in the Europa League in 2014-15. It is number 91. That is a lot more out there. I will go Duvan Zapata at strike.
Go back and watch games like from way back in the day just to.
I've always done that. It's not something I've done just for TikTok to like improve my knowledge. Just as a lot of the time people are watching like gaming videos on YouTube or like doing stuff like that. I was probably just watching the same highlights from whatever World Cup or like Champions League game. And then, throughout growing up and watching the games, I just don't really like forget. Like I can recall like most of the key stuff, like, goal scorers and who won. It's particularly between big teams, but if it's like a game I watch, then I can definitely recall it from like World Cup games and big games in the Champions League and Premier League and such.
It's not just soccer that you have this crazy memory with? Is it just most things in your life?
It's most things that I'm passionate about and really into. Like geography, I've always been passionate about and into, so that's how I know the flags and all those countries and stuff. And yeah, just like most events in my life, I can recall them pretty well. If it's something I'm really not into, feels like a task, like certain subjects in school, it's not that I don't remember, it's just I don't really put in an effort to caring. It's like certain, sciences, I'd kind of sometimes it couldn't be bothered because I'd rather just go home and, like watch soccer, play FIFA or whatever. And probably like grades there wouldn't reflect someone who can like recall, like not that they were like bad, but they just not like, wow, this guy's like the football genius and it carries over to everything else. I'd say it's very much strongest with football. It's like soccer and geography.
Burundi. I'll go with Gael Bigirimana at right mid. He used to play for Newcastle United. He scored for them in the Premier League. Excel Mouscron. Can't remember which one it is. Then we have Cyprus and Belgium. This might... Oh! Igor Di Camargo. Is he from Belgium? I think he is. And I think he played for Applewell.
When I was a kid, I had a flag book that I'd always go, like when I was like 5, 6 years old, I have this map of the world on the wall, like right
Yeah.
there. And I had that since I was like 6 or 7. And I had like a placemat at like my grandparents' house whenever I'd go there to eat. Like I just look at it and I just, yeah, that's like
Just
what
get
I would
lost in
do.
it.
Yeah. In times when kids would be like, they like in my era, now kids would be like watching like cartoons on iPads and stuff. In my era,
Yeah.
kids maybe like reading or doing whatever. I'd, in my spare time at home, would just be like looking at the maps and stuff.
Run me through some of your favorite soccer memories that you have.
Okay. When I was 7 is when I first started watching. Just it was in the 2010 World Cup. First game I ever watched was Germany against Australia. My dad is German, so we were like big into the German team, and they pumped them 4-0. Mesut Ozil just completely bossed that game. It was his first game pretty much on the big stage because he was playing at Werder Bremen, and he just became my favorite player since then. So that tournament was just great. Germany were on fire. They beat Ghana, beat England 4-1, beat Argentina 4-0. Spain obviously were such a dominant team, but Germany were like really blew everyone away. Spain were kind of defensive and passing it around a lot. Then when Mesut Ozil went to Arsenal is when I started watching club like football. So I naturally became an Arsenal fan because of that, and that's just kind of stuck.
What about some Arsenal memories? Do you have any Arsenal memories that you're fond of?
Yeah, I've sadly never made it to the Emirates quite yet. I was considering going because I was over in Europe a couple weeks ago, but it just kind of didn't work with the timing. Favorite Arsenal memory would definitely be, I'd say, winning the FA Cup in 2017, beating Chelsea, Aaron Ramsey with the winning goal 1 minute after Chelsea equalized, after a really poor season where it was just a roller coaster. We're second at Christmas, and then it's all Wenger out, and we're sixth place and getting pumped 5-1 by Bayern 2 games in a row, and all this terrible stuff. But then it ends on that high of winning the FA Cup against Conte's Chelsea, who were one of the best teams in the world, with a late winner. Just that particular final could not have been any better. One of my favorite games of all time.
What do you have? What are some unpopular soccer opinions that you have?
Oh, this is kind of on the spot. Unpopular. Hmm. I don't necessarily think the Ballon d'Or is the be all and end all that people give it the credit for, just because of every journalist has like an equal opinion there, and there's some very strange ones, particularly in recent years since it's Messi Ronaldo dominance has died down a bit. You know, there are people
Right,
voting Jorginho for Ballon d'Or a couple of
right.
he was good, but that is really a claim. And like putting Sterling, there's one country they put Sterling second in the Ballon d'Or when he was hardly even starting at club level.
Jeez.
That's one I do respect it, the Ballon d'Or, obviously, but I think it's kind of losing its credibility in recent years.
Yeah, I think it owes a lot to it's like, well, obviously it's history and like it's super grandiose. It has like
Yeah,
this aura of like superiority, if you know what I mean.
yeah. And there are a lot of phenomenal players who have missed out on it, and then a lot of players, at least several players who've got it, where if they were in another era, I don't think they'd sniff it. Like George Weah, for example. I know the year he got it, I think he only got about 6 or 7 league goals for PSG. He
Wow.
had a great Champions League campaign, but they got knocked out in the semifinals. You look at someone like Gabriel Batistuta in the 90s, who was just scoring goals ridiculously and must have been the best striker in the world for 1 or 2 years there. And he never got his hands on it.
Your TikTok. So you kind of briefly touched on it before, but like why did you start really?
I, well, I just kind of browsed the app a lot, and having made like YouTube videos as a kid, I kind of thought this could be a way of kind of blowing up and being some kind of like soccer personality and gaining like following and just some kind of route into the like world of having a job in there. And there's a flag filter there that just came up one day, and I was like, huh, let me just build a team using these. And it took off, got 500,000 views in the first day. A lot of great comments. So I just kept doing it with slight variations. And then there were like new filters, and I got new ideas, and I kind of developed because in my early videos, I don't have a lot of enthusiasm. or like personality. I'm just kind of, just blank expression saying these players' names from countries, whereas then I kind of get more enthused, drop some facts, some jokes, some like stuff to get more people more engaged. And yeah, within the first month, I think it was at about 25,000 followers. The first month of me like properly trying and not just posting like short videos to make my friends laugh. And
So
I got to 100,000 within, I think, 3 or 4 months, which was really good.
so you kind of started with the intention to like get your name out there and try and get a job in the industry.
Yeah, somewhat. I had a couple of videos that I'd made that I just kind of threw no effort into over the course of a couple of years being a teenager, just in the sense of like TikTok, some just absolute random stuff can blow up. Like a couple of like 8 to 10 second videos I would make would get like 200,000 views. And you're like, whoa, this is kind of cool that this many people are seeing it. So let me try and do something that's actually, in my opinion, more impressive and would make people stick around and kind of get to like you as a personality. And once you have people doing that, then there's like kind of endless possibilities there in terms of getting onto YouTube and having like a proper audience.
Were you surprised that the videos took off as quickly as they did?
Yes, I thought I would have to go through a lot of time of kind of hitting maybe a couple hundred, couple thousand views and slow progression. I remember I literally set a goal before I made the first one there in March that I wanted 15,000 followers by the summer, which if that was stayed as June 21st, I think around my birthday, which is July 4th, I got 100,000 followers. So I completely smashed that goal. And I was like, well, yeah, this is much more than I could have expected.
So what's the plan now then? Are you trying to build your YouTube channel?
Yeah. Throughout the summer, I'm going to start posting a lot more. I've been very busy in the last couple of months or so. So YouTube videos, it takes like so long to edit and record and stuff compared to TikTok, where you can kind of just get one out in an hour,
Yeah.
I would say. Even less, because editing is really just putting the like names in the right times and adding some no copyright music in the background.
Right.
And the video is only about 2-3 minutes long. But yeah, I'm started a FIFA series where I'm trying to take Canada to the World Cup on career mode.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do some other football trivia stuff, hopefully some real life football videos as well, playing around at the pitch, because those are the ones that I've always enjoyed watching growing up.
Yeah, the Chris MD
Exactly. He's
football
my favorite
challenges.
like
Yeah.
football YouTuber like ever. He acknowledged one of my videos before. Someone I knew sent it to him because I put him in the team as the player from Jersey.
Oh, right. Yeah,
When
yeah,
the
I saw that.
Jersey flag came up and he said
I
I was
remember that one.
an intelligent man. I was like, oh, it's just like craziest moment ever.
I've seen you working with some other YouTubers as well, like collabing. Like you guys did that. I don't remember who it was, but you did like a tic-tac-toe one of
Yeah,
those.
Luke Pingu. He's one of the big like FIFA kind of trivia guys who does like FIFA series and collabs. That's always a lot of fun. And I'm really grateful because he has like I think 50,000 subscribers. And as soon as I was on his channel, I instantly got like a couple hundred subscribers when he tags you in the description and stuff. So that's just wonderful. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of like big FIFA YouTubers that I watch growing up that go on those.
Who are some of your dream collabs then?
Oh, I absolutely love Chris MD. I'd love to do something with Alfonso Davies as well.
That would actually be so
I know that he's like
sick.
super into like his TikToks and his live streaming and stuff. So
Yeah.
I feel like he's someone that could be game for that. I'm in the Lille kit right now. Jonathan David as
David,
well.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind. Just like any kind of professional footballers doing like trivia or just kind of those short videos. Yeah, that kind of stuff would be great.
How did the I saw you were invited to the game from by Bayer Leverkusen. I wanna know how that kind of ended up happening.
I think they had just seen my stuff and their like media guy shot me a message back in I think February. They said, "Hey, we'll send you a couple of kits if you like put them in your video, and then the next kind of like influencer media event we have, we'll bring you over." And I was like, "Whoa, that's sick." I hadn't been out of the country since I was like a little kid, so I was like, "Oh, I'll take the free trip." So I did that. They got me over for a derby game against Cologne. Sadly, they lost. It was their first loss in about 3 months. Gabby
Dang.
Alonso was working miracles, but it was a really fun experience because I've never really been in. I've only been to one game in my life, and it was a Germany game against Cameroon right before the 2014 World Cup. It's just a friendly game in Germany that I went to with my dad and my sister. So it was like the first time I went to a competitive game, and yeah, the atmosphere was great. Got to meet Callum Hudson-Odoi for a minute or two. He was a really nice guy. Got to sit in the press conference with Xabi Alonso, which was cool. And then I just kind of stayed for an extra week on my own to do my own thing.
Yeah, ask any questions or
No, didn't have the didn't have the balls for it, and my German's lacking a bit, so I don't think it would translate over
it's
too
an
well.
it's an intimidating atmosphere, no? A press conference?
Yeah, especially after a loss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's no one really laughing.
No.
Just all these journalists, and then a couple of TikTok boys who are about 21 years old.
Yeah.
They're like, "Damn, that guy has won the World Cup."
Yeah.
I feel like I don't want to sound like too cocky when I do them.
No. Dude,
Like, do you know what I mean? Because like if you're asking like how do you like know so much, like you know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean. I've
Like
done a lot of
yeah,
profiles
I know.
before, and everyone's always like, it's like super weird talking about yourself. Like I totally
No, I
understand.
know. It's just I always find like I never want to come across like a dick, but like if people
No, no,
ask me
no.
like how do you get so smart and stuff, it's like you can only like say so much.
It, it, listen, man, journalism, the question that I had when I always ask myself when I watch your stuff, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, is
Yeah. No,
how
I
the
know
fuck does this
it's
guy
like a
know
great
so
question,
much?
but I just am always like
So
I never want to come
I'm
across
just
like a
doing a
dick.
service to the people, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, I appreciate it. When people like stop me, like recognize me in public, understand that I never know what to say. Like
You get
they just
recognized in
don't.
public a lot?
Yeah, it's well, Halifax is like such a bubble. Like
Oh,
there's no
really?
cities like really close to it. The next city with like over 100,000 people, I think, is like Quebec City, which is so far.
Wow.
So and like TikTok's like local algorithm and a lot of pretty much everyone into like soccer and like in like
Yeah,
this that
yeah.
has TikTok would have seen me. So particularly like nights out and stuff, or like if I'm at a like
Yeah.
Halifax Wanderers game, it kind of goes
Is it
off.
awkward or you're just like,
No, it's usually, especially on nights out, it's usually people my age.
oh,
If it's
okay,
like a
yeah.
Wanderers game, it's usually like little kids and stuff.
Oh,
I
okay.
was like, oh, hello.
That's cute.
But like the nights out, yeah, the nights out, people are like all drunk. They're like, bro, how do you know so much, dude?
You're the guy from TikTok, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, I was like using a urinal at a bar, and some guy
That's
puts his arm
crazy.
around me, and he's talking to me for like 2 minutes, and I'm like, nothing's coming out because he's like so in my face, and he's like, dude, he's like, can you hurry up? I want to talk ball. I'm like, there's a
He
reason I'm
wasn't
taking so long.
That's so funny, dude.
Yeah, that kind of stuff happens quite a lot.